desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock.
Lorax jinked us with a Resident Evil 4 reference earlier.
The woods and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw.
Okay. So I know this is going to be bad.
Ooh.
Well, this could be good.
I said them to finally give you a powerful weapon right before the imminent boss fight.
Right. Whereas if I can't aim down the sights or anything, that's going to make it a bit more use impaired.
Right.
It'll still do more damage than the pistol, I'll be content.
Exactly. I imagine also, since you've got some flares left, you can probably use those on him too.
Maybe, but let's be honest, I don't want to be close to a chainsaw.
Hey, John Doe.
Hey, John.
No anime today, unfortunately, but we are bringing the Alan Wake instead.
There we go.
I guess you could joke. We're here to find the wife, not the waifu.
It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Huh.
When did the plane crash? I must have missed that.
Was that just a propeller falling?
High five, man. I don't know how many people are actually disappointed by the change in programming, but but I do still feel the need to apologize all the same.
So, 2 flares.
Nice.
I am a little whelmed.
Yeah, the caches are getting a little more meager.
I'm pretty sure that also kind of explodes your theory that Nightingale's one leaving the caches.
Right. That wasn't my theory.
Yeah, it was.
That was your theory.
I never said anything of the sort because that was kind of a silly idea.
No, I was joking about it. I actually have no idea who's leading that stuff. Yeah, generally, if I open a statement with clearly X, I am clearly being sarcastic.
So you're being sarcastic about that?
Clearly.
Alright, another flare.
Lorax is the one who wanted more of that JRPG. Well, I think we are outed as crazy, my friend. Hey, Slur. It was the if I said cable, that was incorrect. It was the port that has gone bad. I have verified the cables I've tried it with work. And matter of fact, we're using this is our 360 connected with the same HDMI cable. It was the the port doesn't work. And our PS3 does work with a component, but we're using the Elgato HD60, just HDMI or bus.
Can't.
Oh, so there's no. But probably not time to turn on your generator when you're being meleeed by these guys. John Doe, but without any tsundere, how would we learn about the ladies?
Really? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't actually...
I'll tell you what, John, if you stick around, we'll probably find out how Alan met his wife, and then you can learn about his strategies.
Yeah. Probably what the flare is meant for, anyway.
Slur, we have a HDMI splitter to get our HDMI feed to the Elgato in the first place. Yeah, and our cable, basically the PS3, the HDMI did not work. Basically, it fails on the output end. If I plug it in directly to the TV, it doesn't work. If I plug it into the splitter, it doesn't work. But if I plug the component cable to the TV, it does work. And if I switch when I switch the video display to HDMI, it just does nothing. Whereas if I do composite or component, it does work. As Swift said, I would say that you have to invest in a PS4. Yeah,
Well, if we had the cash, we would, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, money has been our issue, upgrading for... Yeah, well, the thing is, Slur, is that the PS3 otherwise works. Well, that's what I mean, the PS3 problem, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the port is dead, since the data works, the other video, all the other video output options work. And we don't get audio through HDMI either, but we do get it through optical or left-right. So I'm pretty sure it's just that one port. Swift is asking, why can't we get our 360 online? You remember when we took it over to have Sway help clean it? It popped up. We couldn't close the back of it properly, so the Ethernet isn't connected. You know, that's the problem with it. So it just doesn't read the Ethernet cable at all, and we don't have the Wi-Fi adapter. Yeah, Slurry. I go what you mean now. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the port on the motherboard is the only thing that's damaged with it.
Can't do anything there. That's the mill wheel.
And John Doe says, as he recalls, Alan's strategy was to get drunk and brood over the typewriter. I thought that was after they got married, though. Not to say that that ladies don't go for brooding, but... Yeah, and I apologize if I was unclear, Slur, but I appreciate the help. John says his PS3 started making a high-pitched sound, gave him headaches 1 month after the warranty was over. Oh my gosh!
Oh, that is a pain.
Oh, that would be perfect, Swift. Offering to lend us the Wi-Fi adapter if we can find it long enough down to the DLC. Sure. Yeah, John, we got the yellow light of death about 6 months on our fat PS3. About 6 months after the warranty would have been over for it. That sort of isn't it yet. Oh, don't worry about it. I am always open for advice. As the people in the chat will remind you, I forget very basic things on a very frequent basis.
Ain't that the truth?
And by chat, I mean my brother, in fact.
Aha!
Nice.
The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around.
I'll take a mulligan on that page.
Actually, that's kind of important. It implies that the police officers aren't part of whatever is going on here.
Mm-hmm. It's a sequel to the Leaf Gathering sim, Alan Rake. Well, it was originally a Cooking Mama mod, Alan Cake, but, you know.
Aha!
John says the main thing that Alan Quake... There we go, Alan Quake.
Actually, all of these are the Alan fake.
When Barry attacked the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank.
On crank.
The world had changed. Like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified.
So that means that, yep, Barry is under attack now.
Barry's caught in the middle of it, yeah. Right, yeah, this spin off to Alan Bake.
Alright, war flares.
Yeah, John said the main thing he uses PS4, at all was the Max Payne 3 multiplayer. Gotcha. I missed the PS3 release of GTA. It's really disappointed. Lorax likes the Indiana Jones mod. Alan, why did it have to be Snake? oh, that could be Metal Gear. Alan Snake. That would not even be the weirdest blank Snake in the Metal Gear franchise at this point. Swimming Sun, Alan Blake, yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting for everybody to kind of run the course on that one.
All right, so I think we can wrap it up with needing to give Ben an Alan break.
Nope.
Good night, everybody.
Good darkness wears her face.
Oh, so Slur went for Alan Brake, too. What's he using?
Big shovel.
Oh, shovel, okay.
There we go.
Nice. Very cool. I love it when games give those big guns the kind of report they probably should have.
In all reality, though, it being a hunting rifle, it shouldn't have that lot of fun.
That's true. Well, it depends on what kind of hunting rifle. An elephant hunting rifle, doing a 30-06
would
or something.
not be called a hunting rifle. It would be called an elephant gun. Yeah, most hunting rifles are relatively smaller caliber.
Well, yeah. I was say what kind of, Now, snake.
So I can't go that way. But I'm up here.
I'd assume so. They really didn't make as much use of that in close area as they could have. I'm guessing it's because there's so many enemies already. You can't just overload you.
They can't, huh?
Well,
There we are.
yeah, the action segments do seem to have some issues of pacing. I don't know. I kind of see that what gets me is that they're clearly going for, like we talked about, the oppressive gloom type of a horror scenario where there's always something out there,
right,
and you're just not sure, where, when, stuff like that. The problem is in this game you do. It's like it's like
Garg.
As soon as you see one guy, it's like, okay, there's gonna be a wave of 5 of them,
right,
and they very rarely do the thing they did at the start, which is having you see the outline of the shadow of one. Then it's a while before they call to collect on that.
Right.
I think that if they'd done more of that, it would have felt a lot, and maybe had smaller areas too. This is a bit ridiculous. Bear wants to know, why would you have an elephant gun in Maine? I don't know. Oh, I like Swift's answer. For the mammoths, clearly.
Oh, true. Yeah, I will admit my biggest single frustration with all of this is the fact that there are so many areas where I cannot see what's going on.
Right. Did anybody else have one of their favorite scenes in the Jumanji movie? The one where the big game hunter, goes to the gun store, plops out a bunch of gold coins to get this high-powered semi-automatic sniper rifle. John says he would have preferred to see the game released, more recently, like 2016, when it was okay not to have third-person shooting as much. Yeah, and likewise with they could have done a better job with the facial animations too. It's like it definitely hurts the drama sometimes when you zoom in, and it's like, you kind of see Alan's mouth move like a puppet, like the ventriloquist dolls. Not quite that bad, but
right. I would definitely say it's not that bad.
Mm. But yeah, it definitely the animations aren't as good as they could be. Oh, and Bear explains that the game was actually supposed to be open world early in development, and that would fit the current development trend. Yeah, like make everything an open world game.
Right. Whereas they decided not to do so very clearly.
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked for this kind of game.
I do think it would be kind of interesting to have a open world kind of horror game, but yeah, trying to actually make it work would be kind of nightmarish.
Right. So I can't believe they have the audacity to remake Jumanji, yeah. Here we go. Y'all knew it was coming. Even if they hadn't had the manuscript page about the guy with the chainsaw, that is like, we're doing this big logging area, clearly, at some point. I was thinking flares for him. You might want to use the flares just to keep the other guys at bay. One flare, not quite enough to wipe out the darkness on him.
Arc.
Jeez. This wasn't an instant kill. I was half expecting that to be the case.
Right.
Yes, Slur points out, the open world would require a higher budget, which Alan Wake's development probably didn't have. Dr. Shadowador.
There we go.
Bear was thinking, hey, wasn't one of the Western developed Silent Hill games open world? Not that anybody
There
played
we go.
those, but nice. So Rifle does not mess around.
Yep.
It looks like from the icon on the cartridges, it probably is 30-06, which is on the higher end of rifle calibers, but
Still reasonably hunting rifle.
yeah, not elephant gun territory.
I suppose, when you're talking the larger caliber things, if you were actually hunting bears out here, that's what you would use.
That's a good point. Whereas if you, with traditional hunting rifle, most people do 22 long, which is for deer and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, if you're talking like bear or moose, you might something a little bit stronger.
I don't think there are moose in Maine. There might be.
Hmm.
At the least, no one would gainsay them if they wanted to
if they wanted to be there. John Doe would be cool with open world, continue to replace linear design. The effort needs to be put in a la the Wild Hunt game.
Right.
Whereas, say, the new TMNT game had real lame open world. I don't know anything about the new TMNT game. So there's a little distressing. I don't even know. Why would you make an open world Turtles game?
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered. You've got all Hitchcock on me.
Nice.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door. Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
Good to know Barry's still alive.
Yep. But as the manuscript said, he's now being attacked by birds.
Yeah, just as they say, 30-06 would take anything in North America. Yeah, going back a little bit, Swift was thinking that Microsoft took part and wanted to make the game a success with first-party marketing and everything. So, as far as we had budget issues, but you could always say a game would always use a bigger budget, right? But part of the problem is that if the Silicon Knights and Activision debacle taught us anything, it's that the scope of the game will expand or shrink to fit the budget allotted, unless you have somebody really cracking the whip to manage development.
Right.
Oh, there's a thought, Lorax says, in response to the TMNT game with super low budget. Needed
The FBI
GTA.
agent's
Oh,
command
back at
froze
this.
me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it. But it felt all wrong. Call it instinct. His posture. The way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond.
Now we're going from Twin Peaks to The Fugitive, looking for his wife and running away from the cops. Or from the FBI, even.
If he is indeed FBI. Oh, there we go. Not sure why the ladies put their hunting rifle ammo in the bathroom, but did I see something shiny?
Yeah, Lorax says they need a GTA Saints Row style TMNT game where you can run over people with the party wagon or pizza thrower. Nice. Bear says, it's a pity. Platinum has done a bunch of good action games in the past, supposedly. So Platinum did the Turtles game. Huh. Yeah, you'd think they would be a good fit for it. But Platinum has been really spotty, I say recently, but I guess always.
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
That is actually true. One thing that...
That's not.
Hold on.
Yep.
But yeah, that is actually true.
Huh.
Guy?
I guess Bathroom Stall Man is this game's Oven Man.
Weird. Anyway, yes, that is actually true. One of the most obnoxious things about a story, and also the thing that people immediately can tell as being wrong, and like you said, the magic dying in it, is once you start getting going, if you change one thing, you have to consider the ramifications for everything else.
Right.
And yeah, that can cause quite a few problems, like especially when you have a collaborative work, because then people will ask the question of, okay, what is actually true to this character? What actually goes here?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it can become pretty nightmarish after a while.
Right.
Driving sounds good to me.
Clearly some product placement.
Oh gosh.
Oh, we got a driving mini game. Who said GTA? Lorax said you should have tossed a flash grenade at those crows. Yeah, I wonder if the crows are creatures of darkness. I wonder if the flare would have done anything to them. If you don't want to waste one on them. Nice. I have a feeling you're probably not supposed to actually run them down, but
I would guess you actually are supposed to.
how much do you want to bet they're going to hide some manuscripts or thermoses around here? Yeah, swim for anybody who's played this. Do you know if they hide anything off to the sides in this part?
Well, I can't. Oh, I can actually leave.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like I noticed you could.
Let's not do that.
John wants to know if any of us nerds have read the Mistborn books, because he started the audiobook of the first recently, and it is good. I have heard of them, but not actually read or listened to them.
Why am I brighten the lights again? There we go. This one?
Until I realized the lights were constantly flashing on that semi, I thought it was like some bro there doing the flashing lights response to you.
I love how our car battery also recharges.
And Don actually forgot this game had driving. Yeah, this must have been after I bailed on the spoiler warning thing, because I don't remember this at all.
So now we're just going back up the path. Back to where we were. So it actually is a little disheartening to think about how quickly this goes when you can actually just go without any blockage.
When you can just drive, right. I guess the additional vehicles with their lights on.
Oh, there we go.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
I guess the additional vehicles are probably, so at least some of them are probably there if your first one got destroyed.
Yeah, I don't know why the flare gun kills people, but the flares themselves do not.
That's a really good point. I guess it's because the flare guns actually explode, whereas the flares are just...
that didn't actually hurt their... Wow.
Didn't actually hurt what?
Didn't actually reduce their darkness much at all.
Huh. Yeah, normally it does. It's really frustrating.
Well, it's because it was in that cinematic thing.
Oh, you're right. So yeah, it's probably based on like frames of effect or whatever. So when the slow mo trick kicks in, you're getting fewer frames. That's a cool animation though. The way he kind of shook himself awake after you shot him. Hey, Doseku.
Okay, fine.
Sweet, this game. Yeah, it could have been anime, and so we got Alan Wake.
Yes, I apologize for those of you who wanted anime waifus.
Which I think so far is just Lorax, and maybe Sway. She likes both of these games, so... John Doe would recommend it, like Sanderson. First one is The Final Empire. Setting is post-apocalyptic in a world where real hard to grow crops, huge slave caste on Earth.
So nothing new respawns in these cabins. Fair enough.
Primary magic is driven by burning metallic alloys inside the body. Interesting. So kind of like an alchemy magic thing. And Doseku first played this when it came out long, long ago.
Wayne, think you could actually make a note of that? Because I'm not going to remember by the time the stream is over.
Note for what? Mistborn?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. Yep. I'm familiar. It's one of those things that if I had time for fiction, I'd probably be in on it too.
The kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it.
I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
It's not done.
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
I like the way he actually sold incredulity on that one. It's not done? Come on, every writer cranks out the book, in a day, right?
Barry had talked about
That's a
words
lot
over
of
the
them.
phone.
Yeah, seriously. Although, of course, combining,
Everyone controls the taken.
it's combining horror writing and wives reminds me of that story about how I forget which book it was, but apparently H.P. Lovecraft had written one and lost the manuscript in a taxi, and he and his wife had to crank it out, over their honeymoon.
So,
But that's what it's like. If I had time for fiction, does it mean you have time for nonfiction? Not as much either as I used to. But no, stuff like current events books and
Arg.
game design theory and stuff like that. It does apologize for anyone who wanted anime. That just drives him off. Ooh. You think that would be the way to do it? Cash in your flares to try to kill a couple of them, but it doesn't work. Can you maybe shoot the flare gun on the ground as they come in or something? Or... Don likes reading on his TV, PC, caliber, black font, gray background, etc., but likes audiobooks, right? Exactly, audiobook. Listen to an audiobook while you play a game like Stardew Valley or XCOM, sure.
Yeah, it looks like...
Is he allergic to inky darkness? Some of how your objective is defeat the birds. Okay. It looks like, yeah, they basically have this kind of health gauge for each flock, and then just have to, wear it down. It's a very weird way of doing it. Yeah. Do you have any flare gun shots left?
I do. I just don't think it would be all that useful.
True, probably not.
Then I'm reasonably sure there's going to be something else going on.
Fair point. Yeah, I would have thought this chapter would have been done twice now. So what's a third? John has severe neck problem, so he can't look down at the book or read a phone for long. Ouch, gotcha. That would definitely be a factor, right? Yeah, what is Caliber, for people not familiar with it? I'm guessing some kind of, like a smart TV thing? Is that At least they don't seem to be, at least they seem to be attacking infrequently enough. You can regenerate some health between it. Ebook manager. Gotcha. Thank you. Swift. So Swift, you have that too.
Barry, you can open the door now. They're gone.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry.
I like how he covers
you were
his
having a
face.
psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared.
Yeah, that's the mystery.
The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
It's the 2000s, Alan. Just blog about it.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll
Doesn't
be
sound
there
good.
in less than an hour.
Indeed
See you
not.
soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old dear diner.
Good girl.
Welp. That is a note to end on.
Yeah.
For the chapter. That is pretty pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
Come here.
Pretty cool.
Indeed. Ow, wait. So yeah, despite addition of Chainsaw and everything else, that was an alright episode, I think.
Episode 2. You're thinking about calling it here?
Yeah.
Okay. End of episode 2.
Yep.
Oh, I guess that works pretty well if the episodes are going to average about, an hour or two at a go. So
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page.
it's collected quite a few pages already.
I have found only a
Oh,
few
that he's
damaged
acknowledging.
pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I guess we're going to stick around until the game wants to save, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here.
He's
Agent
bad news.
Nightingale.
FBI.
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
I sympathize with the guy with the bum leg.
Right.
I found all sorts
But
of
like
weird
I said,
Yes.
that is that.
All right.
So yeah, there